Hi, Eloise Ansell here, intuitive healer based in the UK. Hello! This week I want to talk about everyone's favourite thing for January 2020, whatever year it is. It's 2023 as I record this. New Year's resolutions. So, if you've been on my mailing list for years, you've probably heard me talk about this many, many times. But I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, being in the UK. And I don't like setting New Year's resolutions in January. Now, there are some arguments out there, as I was mentioning in my newsletter a few weeks ago, that there's a few arguments as to whether January is actually the beginning of the year or not. I mean, if we look at the Latin for numbers, September doesn't mean 9, it means 7. October means 8. December means 10. So why is the 10th month the 12th month? And why is the 9th month the 7th, not the 7th month, and etc, etc. I think they probably did change the layout of the year at some point. For me, personally, and kind of aligned with this, the year always feels like it starts around the spring equinox in March. So I always start a new year of group sessions in my Freedom Hub around the spring equinox every year. It's a very important day in my calendar and in my schedule. And that is when I really sit down and work out what I want to create for the next 12 months. March probably at some point was the beginning of the year. If we look at these stupid number things that are clearly and slightly wrong in our calendars. So if December was the 10th month, January would have been the 11th, February would have been the 12th, and March would be the first month of the year. So whatever's gone on in the past, whoever messed up our calendars, we do have the energy of this whole new year. So some people like to start the year with, I think, the lunar year in February. We have the Chinese New Year in and around February as well. There's different times where different parts of the world celebrate a new year in different ways, and we can decide whatever we want to do ourselves as well. There are no rules here. So just because January the 1st rolls around, and yeah, it's kind of like the number ticks over for the year in this group consciousness, so there is some energy there for new starts and new beginnings. It's naturally a time of reflection, but I don't know about you, but certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, when it's cold and dark, January is not a time of the year when I feel really, right, yeah, let's go, let's do stuff. I kind of feel a bit like, I'm in hibernation mode, because that's the energy of where we're at. Our bodies go through these natural flows throughout the year. We go through these seasons. It's time of hibernation. I've just had 2 weeks off as I record this, and I did nothing. My body was like, we're not doing anything. And I'm like, well, it is hibernation time. You know, I had these plans of all these things I was going to do. And then when it came to it, I went, no, none of that's happening. So I followed the energy. I followed what my body wanted. And for me, like January and February, I always feel like really, well, it quite often snows and it's cold and it's miserable. I mean, it's been raining for days here. It's really windy and wet and dark. It doesn't feel like a time when I want to go running and start like doing things actively, because my body is not in that mode. We're not in that time of year. So I like to start my New Year's resolutions in March when it started to warm up again and it's brighter and we've got more energy and we're coming into that springtime. It just feels more natural. Now, it's still, January rolls around, I'm still going to look at my calendar for the year because it's a fresh year, and I'm going to sit and look at some of my business goals for the years, or when I want to release things. I'll have a rough plan for the year because it's a natural thing to do. I may even come up with some goals or things that I would like to achieve. But for me personally, I'm not going to start doing my own New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to be committing to like doing some new exercise routine or doing something crazy until I get to that March point. And this is why our New Year's resolutions quite often fail, because we try and start them in the wrong time of year. So regardless of where you live on the planet, you know, if you're in the southern hemisphere, New Year might be a perfect time of year to kick things off. But you may also naturally have another time of the year when it feels right for you. Some people use their birthdays, some people like that back to school energy in September. That always feels like a fresh reset for me as well. So we have these kind of times where it naturally and energetically feels right in order to look at that next 3 months or that next 12 months. So go with it. So this isn't an excuse to never make any changes because we're human beings and we like to make change. Things can't be static. But it is also just honouring the energies of where you live and how your body feels and what's going on. And just being gentle with yourself. Like if you're trying to change everything at once, it can be too much. Just making one change a month. It's like, okay, during this month, I'm going to, I don't know, drink another glass of water in the morning. And just commit to that one thing every day. It's so much easier than trying to have this long list of stuff and demands that we can never get into the habit of. If you haven't read Atomic Habits, great book, go and grab it. I still never finished it. But there's amazing insights and awarenesses into making changes in our lives. And it's so much easier to commit to one thing. So if there were 12 things that you wanted to implement over the next 12 months, prioritise them. You know, what's a gentle, easy thing that you can commit to in January and start doing that. And if you only do it 5 out of 7 days a week, congratulate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back for doing that. And just keep going. Don't go, oh, I ruined it. You know, like there's been some years where I'm like, right, I'm going to meditate every day. And it gets to the 7th of January and I skip it and I'm like, I've ruined the whole year. I'm not doing it. And I'm like, this is insane. You know, if I end up meditating 50 times more in a year than normal, that's an achievement. That is, that's a big tick, you know, just because I didn't manage 365. It's hilarious how we beat ourselves up and we set ourselves up for failure. So really look at what the simple, gentle things that you can do are. And do one thing till it becomes a habit and becomes part of your daily routine before you start adding something else in. So January and February might be a great time to do gentle things. And then when March comes around, then you might start getting more active and committing to something. And commit to it for 30 days, commit to it for 3 months. Committing to things for a whole year can feel a bit daunting. But just today, I'm going to do this. And then tomorrow, don't feel like doing it again. It's just being gentle with ourselves. Like going to the gym once a week is better than not going to the gym at all. Going to the gym 7 days a week might be too much for our bodies. We might have to build up to going 5 days a week. So going once a week, even if you just go in there and go on the treadmill for 5 minutes for a walk and then leave, at least you've gone to the gym. You can just build from there. You know, it doesn't have to be this, I'm going to go and exercise for an hour and a half. Just put your clothes on and go. When I used to do a lot of running, sometimes I never felt like going for a run. So what I did was I put my running clothes on and I went for a walk. Now, after about 5 minutes of going for a walk, do you know what I always ended up doing? Running. I didn't go out to do a run, but I put my running gear on and just went for a walk. And normally I trick myself into running at some point during the... Now, it might be in a shorter run, it might be in a lot of walking that day, but I still got my body moving. I still got out there because I kind of tricked myself and gently did what felt okay. And we need to learn these little tools and tricks. We need to learn these things. Like if there's a big barrier to us doing something, or it feels too much, we're not going to do it. It's not going to be easy. So what's simple and easy for you? Is it just committing to walk around the block every day? Great. Going for a 10-minute walk every day, getting some sun on your face, getting some sun in your eyes, getting your body moving, getting your lymphatic system moving in your body. That can be amazing for your system if you've been really stagnant for a while. So little things, little steps, moving forward, being gentle with yourself, not being too harsh, and doing it when it's appropriate. If it's snowing outside and it's the middle of winter, it might not be the best time to start going for a run. Wait till it warms up a bit. Just, keep it simple. Anyway, this is my rant on New Year's resolutions. Go and get Atomic Habits if you want to put new habits into your life. Maybe commit to reading that before March. That would be a really good thing to do. I might even finish that book this year. I'm not a big reader. Even if I'm enjoying something, I still never get around to finishing it. I'm hilarious. But do something that's easy, do something that's gentle. Don't try and do 100 things at once. And get rid of those barriers to moving forward with that thing. Just commit to one thing for this month. And just do that thing. And even if you only do it twice a week, it's better than nothing. You're moving towards where you want to be. Just keep tuning into the energy of how you want your life to be. And just take little steps. Rome wasn't built in a day. Anyway, any comments or thoughts or suggestions, if you've got some great insights and awarenesses on this topic, put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll catch up soon. Take care and be gentle with yourself this year. And maybe everything will change by these gentle little steps over the course of the year. Okay, take care. Bye.